everybody, welcome to Elisa's art room. Tonight we're going to be working some more on my wintertime vignette. Y'all come in and say hi, and we will get started on this in just a few minutes. We just got to do a sound check and make sure we have some people on. Let's see if I can find them alive. So tonight we're going to be doing, I think, stained glass. We're going to paint this carpet area that is blank right now. Possibly some other things. We'll see what I get to. Hey Dawn, thanks for letting me know the sound is good. Alright, so we got people on, we got sound check. I think I'm going to go ahead and pull the camera up top so we can get started. Alright, 1 second. Come on, focus. Seriously, focus. Okay, right there. Okay. So, let's see, what do I want to do first? Doesn't really matter. I might paint this first. So I have, this is one of the Tim Holtz transparencies, along with the snow. The snow is made for this particular window. I think that's the right direction. But I want to put some stained glass at the top. I think I'm going to put it just in the middle one. I guess I'll do it on both. I wasn't going to do it on both, but I think I will. I think I'm just going to sacrifice this. This is actually for one of the smaller windows, which I think I already used somewhere else. So I'm just going to use this piece. And I think I'm just going to make it for this little section. So it's not going to be a lot of stained glass. Just a little. I just got to decide where I want to cut it. So I want it to be kind of even. I think I'm going to cut it about there. So I might just mark it. Make sure it's straight. See if I can do this. Got it moving. And where is my Sharpie? I'm going to mark this right next to it, but I want to mark it where I can cut it out and have room to glue it on here. I'll probably just use double stick tape to put it on here. So I think about there and then here. And then we'll do another piece like it for the other one, since they're pretty much identical. Hopefully I can get 2 out of this. Let's see if I can tell. I think I can, but you know, sometimes. Can I get 2? Yeah, I think I can. Okay. So go ahead and cut this piece out. Alright, where'd you miss? And then I'll stick this on top of here so I can cut 2. Let me go ahead and cut this side off. I want to double check it before I cut too. Yeah. So I'm just lining it up. So there's our 2 pieces. And I'll have to decide if I'm going to put the snow behind it or in front of it. I might wait until it's colored and just see what it looks like. So I'm going to be coloring this, I think, with the Tim Holtz focus, girl. Alcohol inks. Because I tried my Sharpies. I don't have great red, blue, and green gold type Sharpies. The colors I have aren't really what I would call Christmassy. I did a test on them and they're just not coming out great. But the alcohol inks I already have in stock are nice. I've got this crimson red and I've got also the poppy field. Both were fine. And then I've got the Botanical green and this aquamarine blue. The blue Sharpie's not bad. The one I have, I don't know what color it is. It's just it's a deep blue, kind of like a cobalt. You will want gloves messing with alcohol inks, and I'm just going to use a little brush. I keep brushes in here for only alcohol inks, and they're just cheap ones I got at Michael's. Just set that aside for right this second. And then I think I'm going to put, I don't remember which way it is. Let me see. I think it's this way. No, it's definitely the other way. So it goes like that. And I'm trying to see how much it will still show behind there. I think I want it sideways, so. I mean, logically, the snow would be in front of it. So I think I'm going to put this behind. I'll attach it to this acetate probably. So these are my 2 pieces. Make sure I got them the same way. And then they'll go in this middle piece. Okay. I'm going to zoom in a little in a second. Grab my little test sheet. So this is where I was testing. I just drew some lines with a Sharpie to do a little test. Let me grab a piece of white paper. I'll just use some cardstock, I guess. Oops. Oh my goodness. Okay. My shelf fell apart. Hold on. I need a background. It's just because you can't see it very well otherwise. All right, so this was my test I did. And I tried, like I said, I tried Sharpies. Let me just see where that needs to be. And alcohol inks. And the Sharpies, depending on the color, they weren't bad. I mean, you know, this blue is actually pretty good. The green, however, was just, it was very, I don't know, almost a blue green for some reason. It's just, the shade was weird. I didn't like it. So I tried mixing yellow and, I'm like, why is that moving? I tried mixing like yellow and blue to see what I could get. And you can do that if you mix just a little bit of blue and some yellow. It kind of messes up your tip, but it can be done. You just have to kind of keep cleaning it off until you can kind of get the right shade. And you can end up, luckily these clean off pretty good. And you can clean them off with like alcohol ink too. Or not alcohol. The isopropyl alcohol. And then, so then you can get more of that shade of green, which is closer to what I would call a classic Christmassy green. So it can be done with them. It just isn't my favorite way because it's a little more complicated. But the red I have is very pink. It's kind of a maroon looking lid, but it comes out very much like fuchsia, which I didn't really want. I wanted more of a classic red. And so I decided that I would probably be best off just to use the alcohol inks that I had. And like I said, I've got these reds. I think I went with the crimson. Now, alcohol inks are messy and they are a little bit stinky, so you really should, I don't know if I wanted this blue. You really should make sure that you aerate your room, or, you know, just be careful because it can get fumy and, you know, you're dealing with that isopropyl alcohol, so just be careful. Put some gloves on because it always drips down the bottle. No matter how hard you try, it's going to drip down the bottle. So throw some gloves on or you'll be wearing ink for a while. Let's see what this blue looks like. So this is called aquamarine. And like I said, it drips a lot, and you only need a tiny bit. It wouldn't hurt to have, grab a paper towel. I don't want to sit it on my, I'm trying to eliminate staining this because it will definitely stain it. What else can I throw down? Here, I'll throw one of these down. I don't want to set it on the table in case it dripped. And then you're going to need your brush, and like I said, I have just some, this is 91% isopropyl. You might could get away with the normal 72 or whatever it is, 71. Tim Holtz suggests using this one, the 91, so that's what I've been using. It is flammable though, so do be careful. I'm not going to be using a lot today, so I'm not going to just paint it on and see if the color is where you want it. It's still very, I think it's very light. So I think I actually like the Sharpie better for this particular one. The Sharpie's just got a nicer blue to it. And you can thin it out with a little bit of, if it's too dark, with a little bit of the isopropyl as well. And then decide what you want to use. So I think I'll go with the Sharpie for the blue, but I'm going to use these two for this. And then I'm also going to use my, what is this, Honeycomb for the kind of goldish color. And I'm just going to use the same brush and clean it. I do have a couple brushes, but it's not really necessary. So these are going to go over here. And then you just need something to clean your brush off with in between. I would not suggest putting a bunch of alcohol in a container or anything. You're going to release way too many fumes. So I'm just going to use these little swabs. And for the most part, it'll clean up, and then you can wipe off on a paper towel. And if you need to, you can actually spray just a little bit on your plate, and then kind of wipe it off, clean it out so that you can go to a different color, and it'll clean out pretty good out of a brush. So that's what I've been doing for this project. I tested it and all that, so. Okay, so that's how I figured out, you know, what would work, what colors looked good, and I'm going to go with the ones I have here, and we're just going to color these. And I'm just going to kind of alternate them. I don't really have a plan, but we'll put it on here. I'll move my little sample over here. And then I think I'm going to have that. There's a smaller little section right there and a bigger one here. I'm going to have this be the top, the smaller one. Doesn't necessarily matter, but I'm trying not to zoom too much so you can kind of see everything I'm doing. It's hard to do, but let's see if I can set this over here just a little bit further. There. Okay. So we'll start with, I think we'll start with the gold because it's going to be the lightest. It's not really gold, it's honeycomb, but I think it looks a lot like gold. So I'm just going to wipe that off. Try to keep it as less messy as I can get away with, if that makes sense. So, and then let's see, I don't really have a plan, so we got 3 different colors. So if I do gold, blue, red, how should I do it? I should do the gold maybe in the middle. See, if I do gold here, I could do blue and red. Here, we'll do these 3 first. I'm not real yeah, I'm on the right side. I don't think this will affect the lines on these. I'm pretty sure they're printed. So we're just going to color that in. Like I said, it does not take much. It's pretty easy. You just got to hold it still. So we'll do gold there. Maybe I will use that other brush, so I don't have to keep switching back and forth so much. I have 2 brushes. I don't think I have 3. I might have 3. Do I? I do have 3. We'll just use them. I wasn't going to, but why not? Okay, so let's do green. Oh, there's 4 colors. Dang it. I didn't have the blue because I wasn't thinking about the blue. All right, that's fine. We'll make it work. This is my green. Let me clean my lid off. It's dripping. All right, we're going to put the blue. All right, it's going to kind of mess up my pattern thoughts, but that's okay. We'll do the green and blue with the same brush, I think. Oh, the blue's the Sharpie, so I don't need a brush. So let's just put it, if I go this way, trying to figure out a way I can kind of alternate. I just don't know. We're just going to go for it. Let's just go for it. All right, so this is the green. I think I need 2 coats of it. I might have to give it a second to just start drying a little. Now, usually it will like kind of reactivate once it dries, and sometimes it'll kind of get, I don't know, chunky or filmy. So you might want to try to get it all on if you can at once. I think this color will be fine though. I'm not going to try too hard. All right, so if I do green there, and then the blue is the Sharpie. Let's see, how can I do this? Maybe here. Whoops. Thought I had all of it. Put the blue here. Probably should have thought out this pattern first, but oh well, it's fine. It'll be fine. It's hard to hold on to it when you're wearing a glove. You can't see where your finger's hitting. I might lighten that down with some alcohol ink in a minute. And then the red. We'll use this one for the red. And let's go here. That red is nice. I'm trying to not let it bleed into the other colors because it probably will affect them. alcohol ink is very fluid, so it will move. All right, so we got blue, green, and then we do a blue above that yellow, maybe. Hope this is a decent pattern. Let's do a blue there. But you can see this really won't take long to paint these. Even if you were doing a larger piece, it really isn't that time consuming. Especially if you were using all Sharpies. I just didn't have good Sharpies for it. Alright, so there's that. And let's do, maybe if we alternate the green and the red, let's try that. So we'll do red here. I just think this is good Christmassy colors. It may not match the scene great, but I think it'll be all right. So there's the red. And then this is the green. I think this is the green. Let's see, I need more. Although I could probably just activate it. Try not to get these brushes mixed up. It's very difficult to do one drop. It really wants to pour out of there. Okay, we'll do this green here. Yeah. And then I think about where I want to do the gold. If I want to just do it maybe there, or do I want to do it here? Let's see, if I did green and red there and continued that, I think I should do the gold here. This probably won't show. Oh, that's not gold. That's green. That's okay. Where'd my gold brush go? Is it this one? Yeah. Here, I'm just going to activate this. Alright, I think I'll try putting the gold there. So I can keep this from getting on it. Yeah, I might need, I don't know if it's dark enough. It's not as dark. Alright, let me get a little bit more. It's really just a yellow, but I think it kind of looks gold. All right, so there's that. It's hard to do on the edge. Like I said, I think that this will be off the screen anyway. It's not going to matter probably. But I think these, let's do this one. It's a little complicated to figure out a pattern, but there. There. Don't move. And then let's see. Could do maybe here also. So what we got left? We got red, green, blue. Blue could go. Maybe we'll do the same thing and put the blue there and there and just have them touching. Alternate the red and green. Chances are most of them will be off anyway. Alright, so we need blue, which is the marker. hold it. Where's my little pointy tool? There we go, hold it with that. All right, we'll put blue here. Here, I think. I'm not sure how the double stick tape will stick to this, if it has the alcohol ink on it. And I'm not sure if I'm going to turn it, I don't think I'm going to turn it around because I wanted the black to show. Maybe I should have painted on the other side, I don't know. It is what it is, right? All right, let's do, it's hard to hold. Let's do blue here. And blue here. It's wanting to wiggle. And here. Okay. And then, let's see, green and red alternated. So let's do our red. Any on there? Nope. It dries fast, so you'll just have to keep putting drops. But like I said, it only takes a drop, so you're not going to use much. Alright, so red, I will do, I'm just going to use my finger here. Okay, and then on the top, I think. And the next one is green. There, oh good, it's still wet. I'm holding my breath again. Hard not to. Alright, we're almost done. What do you think? Is it cute? I think it's cute. Hopefully it looks good. I think it'll look good. Okay. So there's that. Alright, so I'll just let that dry for a second. And I'm going to clean these out a little bit. I will probably just clean them later because I really don't want any more fumes than I have right now. So I'm just going to clean them a little bit with this swab, just so I can get most of the paint off of them. And like I said, I'll deal with them later. Right, so that's cleaned, and I'm just going to trash that out of my way. probably need this. I think I'll leave the blue like it is. Take this off now, I think. So I store mine in this little container. This is from Michael's. I think it could be from Dollar Tree. They look the same. I have two of them. One's Michael's and one's Dollar Tree. Make sure your lids are on tight before you put them in. And then I always store my gloves. And then once I wash those brushes, I'll put those back in here. And then like information. And then what I do is I set it on my shelf up like this, so that it's actually sitting up. It probably would be fine on its side, but it's safer up. So that's how I do that. Alright, so here's our two little stained glass pieces. I'm going to see how they look. I'm going to make sure they're dry. They should be. They dry really fast. So, yeah, that's fine. Alright, let's show you what they look like. Let's put one behind. Okay, so once the lights are behind it, it'll be something like this. I'm trying to figure out where it sits, but something like that. Wherever it's centered. I think I'll try, I might go ahead and attach them. I'm not sure. Because like I said, I think I'll put the acetate on first. So I guess I could go ahead and put this acetate on. Probably. Let's just go ahead and do it. Alright, let's see. So, trying to be gentle with them because it is just alcohol ink on a piece of acetate. So if you scratch it or something, it's probably going to come off. So it's best not to scratch it. I'm just going to set it up here for a second. And then I'll put this on. This way it will be behind this, and that will protect it. So that's a good thing. And then I'll add the other two pieces, the other leading that I'm going to put, which I think I'm also going to put behind the snow. That makes sense. So it'll be on the back too. I think I'm going to add it after. Let me see. If I add leading. I don't know if I want leading everywhere. Honestly, I just don't. I might only have it there. I'm trying to see if I had that piece. I don't know if I do. Let me see. I think it's in here. So I don't know if I want leading. Because it would cover up everything unless I do, unless I do cut out the door and all that. And I don't think I really want leading all over the place. So it actually goes this direction, but that's okay. I think I'm going to leave it off. I'm just going to do the snow one, and I'll save those for some other time. And just leave those plain. For one thing, it'll show the insides better, because by the time I get the snow and everything else on there, it's already going to cover it up a lot. So let's put this snow one on. Make sure I'm the right way. It's not quite square. It's longer one side than the other. So you have to kind of turn it and figure out which side that is. So you can see on this side, see how it just kind of doesn't really fit. So you have to turn it this way. And then it comes over by about 1/8 of an inch on all sides. Okay. So see, double stick tape, probably my best bet. I'm trying to see where it is because I moved everything, so I didn't even think about needing double stick tape, honestly. Alright, there it is. Fingers under there. this is foam squares. Oh, well, there is one double stick tape. Oh, okay, it's both. I think I used that one. We don't need it to be raised or anything. Just put these back up here. All right, so let me see how much overlap there is. Yeah, it's about 1/8 of an inch, so I just need to put them. There's probably a front and a back. Yeah, I think I want the printed side facing the front and then non-printed side back, so I think this way. All right, so let's put the double stick tape on here. Can't quite get my angle. Try to make sure I'm not outside the window. Okay. The windows aren't quite, they're not quite in a straight row, surprisingly. Almost, but not quite. And then I'll probably put a little in the middle so it lays nice and flat. Here, I'm just gonna try to cut off some pieces. Just a piece there. And it's kind of easier if you cut it first. I think this one, we'll put it around the door. It's just going to hold it a little flusher to the surface, a little flatter. I don't think I need some on all of them, but maybe we'll put a little tiny bit on all of them. I have 2 of these to do, but I might do the other one off camera, honestly. Just because there's no sense in me doing the same thing twice with you all. Because I'm not going to attach it today. We're just prepping all these little pieces and then they will be put together upon assembly. One more up here. And I think, let me think about this. Maybe a little across here. It's just barely narrow enough. This is a 1/8 roll, 1/8 inch. Okay, and then I should put maybe one here and one here. That should be enough. I don't think I'm gonna do that one. It's like I'm kind of second guessing myself if I need all of them. It would definitely hold flatter, but I just don't know that it's necessary, and I don't want to use all of my tape if I don't need to. So I just put it there and there. It's probably fine. This is it's fairly stiff, so it should be fine. All right, so, and then we want to attach this to our acetate. So I'm going to use the black leading forward, and then I will be attaching that side to the bottom side of this. So I'm going to put the double stick tape on here. Do you have enough room? Let me look real quick. So I'll make sure I have enough of an overlay. I think I do, but where does that go? Let's go about there. I think about there. Let's see. Is that about an eighth? Yeah, that'll be about right. It's a little wide. I'm gonna have to trim it. Just a teeny bit. All right. I'm just coming over the window a little bit right there. Okay. So that'll work if I put like an eighth on each side. I think it will be safe. But I'll go ahead and do this one first before I do that because it's probably a better idea. All right, so let's just make sure all this is down good. I think we're good. And then get my little pointy tool. Start removing. I wonder if I should do one side first. No, it's probably gonna be too complicated. I don't know. I'm debating. I think I'm just going to pull it all off. Sometimes you can do part of it and then go, but a lot of times I find when I do that, I end up crooked. So I don't know if I want to risk it. I think I'll just do it this way if I can get my pointy tool to cooperate. Okay, so got all of our pieces up. Make sure I am definitely the right direction. Yeah. There's a shadow under the window. So that would kind of logically tell you that this is the top, in case you can't tell. All right, so we want the printed side toward the front. You probably can't tell on camera, but there is definitely a, let's see if I can kind of get it to show. No, it's not going to show because of reflection. There is a printed side though, and the printed side has like a texture to it, and then the back is just totally smooth. So we're going to put the printed side toward the front. So let me make sure I got the right way. Yes. Okay, so printed side toward the front. And I think I'll start here. So I'm going to try to lay this as straight as I can get it with two sides maybe. Maybe just this side. Maybe just this side first and hope it's straight. Would it peel back up? Maybe. It might peel back up off of here. I don't really know. One shot. All right, let's see how that looks. All right, looks pretty good. So there's that here. I'll show it on here so you can kind of see better. Look at the camera and make sure. Okay. So there's that. And then we want our acetate stained glass to go here. Okay. So it's just like a feature over the door. I think that will work well. I could have done all of them, but I don't know. For whatever reason, I decided not to. All right, so the side I want the tape on is this side. So I'm debating if I should put the tape here. It might be easier. Let's do that. So turn this over. Put tape on this side of the acetate. So I'm just going to try to get right next to it. Right next to the opening. Don't stick to my fingers. I'm not 100% sure how it's going to act with this alcohol ink. I don't, it's like a part of me is like, will it stick to that and not stick to the acetate? Will it peel off? Like, you know, will that layer attach itself to this? I don't know. I might clean it off a little on the edges, just because I am a little worried about that. Alright, so there's our tape. I think that should be fine. I'm not going to pull it off yet. So I think what I'm going to do, if it comes off, we'll see. I'm going to try and clean off. I'm seeing if it kind of wipes off, because that'll also tell me how bad it's going to stick. If it will hinder my piece sticking. It doesn't seem like it peels off quite as easy as I thought it would. So maybe it will be okay. I'm going to give it a little bit of scratch though, just to kind of give it some gripping. I just don't know. It might be perfectly fine. But I'd honestly just rather do this and then find out later it's not going to stick. So I just pulled the tiniest little bit off the edge there. Okay. And then we'll figure out how to stick this on here. Hopefully I can get it lined up. That's going to be the tricky part. It's like, I don't know if I need to do it from the front. Maybe. Alright, I gotta pull this off first. Just set that down. Gotta see if I can line this up. It's gonna be a little bit tricky. Alright, so I wanted that to be my top, so let's see. Maybe I can just do the top edge first. Because I can't really see the edge on the other side very well. Oh, I'm on the wrong side. It's like, why isn't that working? Here, we're just going to try and lay it over it. So I'm just going to look from above and try to line it up. If it's not perfect, it's not perfect. We'll go for it. Just if I can kind of get it straight. This seems about right. It's close. Alright. It's pretty close. Alright, we'll go with that. I think that will be okay. What do you think? Look like a cool stained glass window? I think so. Okay, there. So we have a stained glass window, and I'll do the other one off camera. I'm not going to torture you with that twice. I'll just do it off camera. So let me just put my pieces away so I can keep them safe. This in it too. All right. Let's tape up. All right, and then we'll go to, I think, painting this. All right, so hopefully y'all like that. I think it'll be cute. What does it look like on the box? Let's see. I can't really get all the furniture and stuff in there, but kind of just see a little bit how it'll look. So, and there'll be lights. Where are my lights? Where are my lights? Lights. Still haven't figured out how I'm going to do these lights, but I guess I will have to figure that out soon. So there's going to be lights somewhere. We're just going to throw them in there, but so you can kind of see how it lights up. Okay, is it too bright to see on camera? Oh, it's okay. Okay, so it'll light up. It won't be that bright because I'm not going to have them everywhere. I will probably have them up here and maybe on the sides. One of these has a tree that'll be lit. I don't know if it's this one or the other one. I think it's the other one. Okay. So this one has its floor already. We don't need to do this one. The other one needs this floor. So what we're doing is I cut this little doggy out. So this was just a magazine cutout, and he was flat on there. And so I cut him out, put some cardboard behind him that you can't really see, but there's some cardstock behind him. And then I laid a piece of cardstock underneath, and I painted it to match this carpet. Okay, see, I painted that already. I wanted to do that little section because honestly it was kind of a pain to get in there. And then we're going to do the rest of this to match. Will it be perfect? No. But we'll get close. So that's the idea, because I just wanted it to look like, I could have just said it was an area rug or something, I guess, and cut it out more perfect, but I was like, we're gonna make the whole thing. So this goes like this. Okay, I did fancy cut around these wreaths that were up here. There was 5 of them, and it was just looking a little odd. So I've left the 3. Whether or not I will leave those 3 is still up for debate. I thought about making a wreath. I had some tiny wreaths, guys, and I can't find them. I found one, this one. It's a little big. I've debated on taking this one out, possibly all of them out, and only leaving the candles, and then putting this wreath. But I think I'd have to trim it down a little. It's kind of fat. It's a little big, so I don't know if I'm going to use that or not. Other than that, I thought about using the 2 cutouts that went with it, which I kept, because it had, let's see if I can find them. It had, here they are. This one, which was approximately there, and this little one, which was approximately there. Okay, and I may just stick them back on the wall like that, but I didn't like all that white. I didn't want to have to match this wallpaper to all that white, so I did cut them out, and I just fussy cut around them pretty close. They're not perfect, but they're close enough. And then I think that's enough to get away with it. If I have to match the wallpaper in this area right here, I will, but I'm not as worried about it because this is background. It's going to have stuff going on all in front of it, and it will be behind the window, so you really won't see it that much. You know, it's mostly just going to be hidden, and you kind of can peek through and see it. Like even the little doggy, he's going to be, you know, he's going to be way in there, and you're going to have to really kind of peek to see him, but you can see him if you peek in there. So I also have some sayings here. I have to decide which ones I want, and if I want. I think I want them. So I've got sayings that I think I could put on each of these houses, so to speak. They're kind of like living room scenes. I've got 'tis the season to be jolly. I've got we wish you a Merry Christmas. I've got it's the happiest season of all, and believe in the magic of Christmas. These are the ones that fit. I had some longer ones, but these are the ones that fit. So I need to decide which 2 I want to use. So y'all think about that. If you think, you know, some are better than others, I really don't know. They're all kind of, I'll lift it up here. And maybe y'all can just pop me a message and let me know which one you like. Which 2, because I need to use 2. One will go on one, one will go on the other. Or should I just leave it off? I think it looks good with it, so I think I'm going to use it. Another thing, I came across the layers, paper doll layers set, and this little guy was in there. He had a little stand on him, kind of like a paper doll, but I cut that out. And he is just, let's see, can you tell? It's like maybe 1/8 of an inch on all sides. Smaller. But he's really big in here. Yeah, I like him because he's cardstock. But that's not a big deal in this particular one because a lot of it's just cutouts. And I'm thinking his size might work just a little bit better with the scene. I feel like this one, he's just a little bit big. So I may actually end up using this one from Layers instead of this one from the Baseboards, and save that maybe for another time. So that's where I'm leaning right now on that. I do need to add some acetate to this little lamp post. So I need to do that because I cut it out from this one because I wanted to light it. So I'm thinking I'm going to put some acetate over there. I've got this little scrap piece. So I'm thinking I'm just going to throw that maybe like that. Just with the little triangle in there. I think that'll make sense for the light to show through. So we could go ahead and just stick that on there. This is my little scrap. Let's just do that. So, approximately there. So I think that will really kind of just make it look a little more finished, because right now it doesn't look as finished since I cut it out. So if I put this on there, let me just flip it over so I can trace it. I just got to trace where to cut it. So I'm just going to trace around this little lamp. That can stay. I'm going to put a little arrow just so I know which side goes up. Should be obvious with the cutout, but just in case it's not. Alright, so cut that out. What do you think? You like that idea of using that? I honestly, literally just thought about it. I was like, oh, I have that little piece. So I just trace around so I know where to cut. And then I will try to attach it. Okay, so this will go on there. Some more double stick tape. You can glue this acetate too with like the Glossy Accents works pretty well. But it can pop off once it dries. It doesn't really, doesn't adhere permanently. So I find the double stick tape's my best option usually. So put this right there. Just need little pieces, so try to use the tweezers. Fit in there. Just barely. Good. And this one. That one won't. Go a little bit shorter. Like my finger. I'm just going to stick it there. Oh, it didn't even, it's still stuck to my finger. It's very sticky. Get it off that finger. There. All right, let's see. I roll this off. This is still sticking. I'll find it in 10 minutes. It'll be on me still. I think that's narrower than that there. I'm not sure. Yeah, we'll cut it out a little bit. I think it's probably too wide. We'll go there. All right, that should be about right. Get that off there. Let's see if I can stick it to my trash can. Okay. So I want the black side to be toward the front, so make sure you know where that is. And just make sure they're all adhered good. I just heard my husband go outside. I didn't think he went back to work tonight. It's like I can't keep up with. All right. Let's see if we can line this up. I really want that triangle right in there, so I'm going to try to line it up. Sorry, it's not facing you. Oh, that's right. Good. I like it. Okay. Makes it look more finished, doesn't it? I like that. Okay, so we'll do that. And the new ones of these in the sets that are newer, like the 2025 sets, have this already cut out. I don't know exactly what the shape is like, but they are cut out. So you could still take a little piece of this and put it in there because it doesn't have anything in it. All right, so that'll be our little lamppost. You know what? I'll bet he just took the trash out. He thinks it's trash day. It's not trash day because there's a holiday tomorrow. I'll have to tell him after the live. It's not trash day. All right. Let's see. What do we got? Paint. We're gonna paint. So this is it tedious? Yes. I won't lie. It's a little tedious. I did do some practicing with some colors, so I kind of know where to start. And we're just gonna try to make it match. I don't know. I like the idea of it, so I'm debating if I want pencil lines because it is a very straight design. I haven't done this, but I'm kind of like maybe I should. I guess at least maybe some. Maybe just a chalk line. I've got this white chalk pencil. Maybe just on the white section. I'm just going to put a chalk line just so I can kind of keep it straight, because if you're like me, it will never stay straight. It'll end up all wavy and weird looking. So I'm just going to put a chalk line just to keep my little rose straighter. And I realize that this is not something that you're probably going to have unless you happen to get that same catalog piece. What was it? Sam's or Amazon? I don't know. It was one or the other. I was just looking at the other. I think it was Amazon. So it's possible you might have it. You may actually have this picture if you get the same junk mail I do. It's not really junk mail because I'm a member, but you know what I mean. Because that's where this was. Oh, that looks really crooked. You know why it's really crooked? Because I'm not going all the way up. I can't because I lifted the doggy up. I got to put him down so I can. That sounds awful. I got to lay the doggy down so that I can get my ruler in there all the way. Because if the ruler's not all the way, the continuation won't continue right. There. That's the way it should be. because it moves. I'll start over here because I can't tell where that goes. I think it goes like this. And this one about there. Okay, that makes more sense. And then here. And I am actually laying it on the green part because when your pencil lead gets down, it moves over about a 1/16 of an inch. Unless you have a really, really, really sharp tip, and I do not. So it's possible you could have this little piece and do the exact same thing. But if nothing else, it kind of lets you, when I show you things like this, it kind of lets you think about how you can use things. You know, maybe you have a different picture, but it's not continued. I've done this with several things in the past. There was a horse scene I did one time, or I did a similar thing. But, you know, look at your junk mail pieces in a different way. You know, maybe you can reuse them. And you don't have to have the whole area covered. It might just take a little bit of basic painting. It doesn't have to be fancy painting. Now I'm just going to guesstimate this, I think. So logically it'll just kind of keep angling. So leave enough space in between for the green. I have no idea exactly. Let's see. Does that look about right? Let me see. Yeah, we'll call it good. It'll be the same as this, which I can't really tell because there's packages there. I have to kind of guess. I'm probably not close enough back there because I can tell on this side it gets a lot closer. Because logically the front is wider apart than the back, just a little. And about there and there. Yes, let me see. Is that somewhat similar? We'll say, let's change this just a little bit. We'll go here and here. Here. Yeah, maybe. Something like that. I really don't know what this side does. My brain's not working. I don't know. Something like that. It won't matter. You won't see it probably. Nobody's going to be looking that close at my little model. Okay. Now we got our lines. That'll help a lot. In reality, you could probably do this all with pencils. If you had the right color pencils, like this pencil is not bad. I could probably just color it in with the white or maybe a little bit of yellow over the top. Instead of painting it, it would be close. It wouldn't be absolutely perfect, but it'd be close for sure. I'm just going to lay that piece of cardstock back down. And grab my paint. So what I decided to go with is this classic green and some vintage white, because it's not really a white, it's more of a cream color. Let me see, I can zoom just a little bit more. I'll show you. See, it's kind of a creamy, and there's even some shading and stuff, but we're not going to worry about that too much. I might throw a wash over it or something, but we'll start from here. We'll do the white or the green. I can't remember. Probably should do the white first. Let's do the white first. So a little bit of white. I'll go ahead and put this down. And this green is almost dark enough. It's not quite dark enough, so I wanted to darken it. So you don't typically darken your colors with black if you can get away with it, because it doesn't look right. You darken them with the opposite, and the opposite of green is red. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to add a little of this engine red, and that is going to deepen our greens. I did not need near that much, but that's what I got. So we're going to grab a fine brush. So just one of your little liner brushes. I've got that one I used the other day sitting here somewhere. Where is it? All right, you're hiding. Where are you hiding? There you are. All right, I'm going to use this little liner brush. You need water, of course. Right, and just a paper towel or something for wiping off your brush. Okay. There. All right, so we'll start with, what did I say? White or green? White, I think. You can always cover it up if it gets out of control. So the cardstock will change the color of this going on here a little bit. I'm not trying to match it exactly because, like I said, I can do a wash over it, like a dark wash, and kind of blend it all in. Does that make sense? So for right now, I'm just going to kind of throw some of this white, vintage white, down and try to stay close to the line. And somewhat close to the thickness. This is not a perfectly straight line because it's kind of wiggly, so I don't have to worry too much about keeping my hand perfect because it's I don't know, it's just kind of wiggly. Okay, hopefully this won't take too long. Now, I know this color does not match, like I said. You'll see in a minute what I mean, how I fix it. I could have just tried to match the color, but that would take forever. We're not going to do that. And I can come onto this area just a little bit, kind of blend it, just a tiny bit, so it's kind of, had too much paint on there, kind of blends in. Oops, I can tell when I have my paintbrushes too loaded. You know, I know this probably seems tedious. I don't know. It doesn't bother me. I do not mind it being tedious. I don't know. I just think about the overall, and I enjoy each little piece of doing it, and it's a process. So it doesn't bother me. If it bothers you, don't do something like this. You know, find a picture that is complete. You won't have to. I could have just thrown a different fireplace in there. But yeah, I wanted to use this one, so. Okay. We're getting there. Could almost get away with not even painting the green. It's close. The line's a little crooked there, but that's okay. I'm going to go back over here. There's a lot of shadow and stuff going on. Some of these are very narrow. Just trying to connect them just a tiny bit. It looks good on camera. I'm like looking at the camera. Up close is not perfect. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of close. I knew it wouldn't be. It's straight lines. Straight lines are probably the worst. Or at least mostly straight. The paint's getting too thick on my brush. Can always tell because it gets too globby. Oops. Oh. Way too much. I'll fix it with the grain. This is thin. Okay. Just do a little bit there. Let's see. I'm turning it just because it's easier for me to do this angle. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. Got really crooked. Alright. I feel like I need an extra line there. Maybe. I'll try and get one in there. There. Almost done. How long did it take me? I don't know. It seemed like forever, but it was probably like 10 minutes. No idea if the angle over there is correct, but it is what it is. Okay, so green. Let's see, that's not bad. I mean, honestly, I could probably throw that in there. I'm going to blend it a little bit with my green, but it's not bad. So I'm going to do a little bit of this classic green with a drop of red, and you'll see it just darkens it. So I'll try to show you the difference. Okay, so hold on. Okay, so can you see? Oh, the lighting's so bad. I don't know if you can see it. So classic green by itself, and then classic green with a little bit of red. It just makes it darker. Because there's some areas on here where it's really dark. So I'm mostly just going to kind of try to blend that little bit of green into this little bit of green. Maybe I can just show you with a couple of pieces up close. I'm going to do a couple of lines and I'll pull it up and show you. That one was a little fat, but oh well. So I don't know that I want to do the whole thing. Let's see. So that blends pretty good. So here's where I did a few extra. And my mixture here is fairly wet so that it flows well. And I'm not real worried about this getting too warpy. It's cardstock. It's pretty good for painting on. If I was worried about it, I probably would have used watercolor paper or something. But this cardstock's not bad. Let's fix that little spot there where I got carried away. So as long as it kind of blends, I am happy. Not too bad. I don't know if I'm even going to go all the way over. Just blend these front pieces just a bit. I tried to find a cardstock that was perfect, but I didn't have one. So. Okay. Okay, almost. I think we are about where I want us. That's pretty good. Yep. Looking at the picture, I think it's good. All right, so what I'm going to do is just take a little bit of black and add it to this green. I really only need a tiny drop. So, the teeniest bit. And I'm going to change brushes. I'm going to use something that will... look at my brushes. Maybe this one. This is something that was in my kit with Tim Holtz. I think he said it was a brush for dusting. It's basically a watercolor brush. I think I'm going to use it. So I'm going to wet this with a little bit of black in it. I'm going to spray it. So teeny bit of black. Just to darken it. It's going to be a wash. A lot of water. Not so much I warped my card. But we're going to start out with a lot of water. So I want a thin color. Okay, so a thin color. And I'm just going to kind of go over the white. I don't want to get it too wet because it'll start warping on me. I'm just going over that white area, just ever so slightly. And all that's going to do is blend it and make it have some more shadows, and especially back here because this is probably going to be in the shadowy area. Just a little there, a little there. Okay, I think we're good. Like it. It's not too warpy. It's got, see, it doesn't even go through on the other side. It's slightly warpy, but what do you think? Look pretty good? I think once it's in there, you won't even hardly be able to tell it's patched up. So that's our background for that. And like I said, if I wanted to do the wallpaper a little bit, I could. It's this wallpaper. There is some of that green in there. There's some kind of a pinkish color. Kind of looks fire opalish. Make sure it's dry. just have to figure out where he goes. He goes right there. And it fits all the way flush to this side. So it's an easy, you know, it lays in there in just the right spot. And then I could just decide if I want to add the wallpaper, but honestly, the fussy cutting's not terrible. There's really not a lot of spots that I'd have to even worry about. You know, I could kind of hint at, mix a little bit of dark green. Probably should use my other brush. Stop up dark green. And then this would continue down here, so I could just put a couple of little dots there. This continues here. That one's pretty much covered. There's some kind of like leafy plant areas in here. Just kind of hint at it. That's already, I did that one. That one. This one has just a little teeny bit. Just put some little dots. And then there's a little bit of a pinkish color. We could just use this red and white. Just take some white and some red. And maybe a little bit of green. See what that looks like. Not quite. It needs orange or something. It's close though. We'll go with it. So I just want a pinkish color. And I'm just going to put a little drop to kind of look like the flowers continue down. I don't think there's anywhere else really I need to worry about. So I'll show you what I did. It was mostly in this one spot. Hold on. I'll try to hold it in place. Okay, so see if we can do it. Okay, so right here. So what I did is I just kind of continued a hint of those flowers through there so that it kind of looks like it continues behind it, and this isn't just a white section. And then I've got some there and then a little bit there. So that's all I did. Just enough to kind of hint. I probably could put some behind this reef right here and maybe right there. But I just want it to kind of basically trompe l'oeil sort of thing, you know, in so that it kind of blends in. That's all I'm trying to do, is just kind of make it blend. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to have a hint of it, and that's all it needs. Because your eye will fool you into thinking that it goes, you know, the whole way. That's just how it works. So we're just faking it. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I think that'll blend in just fine. So I'm going to leave that like that. It'll be attached later. What else was on my list to do? What about my brush? So put this aside. Where's my list? I've got a huge list of things I need to do. We're not getting to them today. Color stained glass. Color the stained glass. We attached it to the back of the window on one. I still need to do one. Need to do other one. Okay. Add the black wash for the figures. I have not done that. Paint the green rug. We just did that. We haven't painted or covered the ceiling. We did add the acetate to the street lamp. Alright, we could go ahead and do our black wash on the figures, since I have paint out already anyway. So let me grab my figures. Where'd you hide them? There they are. I already did the one deer. Alright, I have not done these guys. So this one has been done. So all I'm doing is just taking some sort of a brush. We can just use that same one we just used. And we're just going to make a black wash. So just this paint that's already on there. And just a real fine wash. Some people add soap when they do a wash. I don't bother, but I'm not sure what it does, if you do it or not. So you just kind of wash this over. And it might seem extreme at first, but what it's going to do is it's going to get down into those grooves. It's going to get into all those little details on his face. Any grooves on around the edges of the broom. All in here. And it'll dry a lot subtler. Okay, and then you can kind of just wipe off anything, you know, that's too much, like on the outside of the snow here. Okay, and then when it dries, just a little too much there. When it dries, I want some in there, it'll go in those little grooves and just add shadows where there should be shadows. So that's what it does. It tones the whole thing down a little bit, makes it look a little more natural of a paint job. Let's do the same thing with Santa here. His little face, and it's going to seem extreme. Don't freak out. People usually freak out when I do stuff like this. It's all in these little grooves. I'm just holding it because it's easier and very thin. It can't be thick or you'll have a mess on your hands. And then just dab off, you know, anything that's too much. And let's see if you can see his little face. Can you tell that it's going to be in those grooves and stuff? It seems extreme right there, but it'll probably just disappear, honestly. If you're real worried about it, you can take a little drop of a paper towel in there. But it'll really just make a difference in the definition. So we're going to do that, set those to a side, and we got the one deer left. This is quick. It's not anything difficult, really. Somebody's coughing like crazy. Sounds like hubby. He better not have brought something home again. Last thing I need is to get you know what again. Alright. I'm leaving a decent amount on because it'll show up. But it won't overpower, I promise. All right, so there. Did those three. So we've got all those done. And it'll be subtle, but it'll look good. Trust me. Okay? So put those aside to dry. They'll dry in a few minutes. All right, what was something else on my list? Let's see. Anything else I could fit in today? I can't do any of that stuff. Paint or cover ceiling. I could do that. We still have to decorate the tree. Maybe I'll do that next time. So we've done our black wash. Where'd my pencil go? I lost it. There it is. We did that. I'm going to decorate the tree with little ornaments and stuff, but I don't think I have time for that. Guess I'm just going to toss it. I'm debating on putting this little bit back in the bottle, but it's kind of contaminated, so I'm not gonna. I don't think I need it for anything else today. Do I? I'm trying to think what I have to do. No, I don't think I do. All right, in the trash. What did I say? Ceiling. All right, so the ceiling, I might just paint it. I don't know. So the ceiling probably won't be able to see it at all unless someone picks it up. Excuse me, unless someone picks it up and looks under it. I was going to put this paper on it just because it's just a Tim Holtz backdrop. But I don't know. I think I might just paint it. I'm leaning toward just painting it because, like I said, I don't think you're going to be able to see it. So I'm just going to go with this color. It's kind of a brownish vintage color, I guess. We'll just go with that. And the other one is a little bit different, but it's still kind of the same tone. It's just a little bit darker. We're just going to make that and paint the whole thing because I think that's just going to be the easiest thing to do. So we'll start off with some vintage white and probably just a little bit of yellow ochre, maybe yellow ochre. It won't take much. I'm gonna put a little bit of that yellow ochre. This is a little more pink, but I don't know. I don't want this brush either. It's not big enough. I'm thinking I need something a little more pink. Maybe Pueblo. Where's my Pueblo? Where are you hiding? No. You're here somewhere. I lost my Pueblo. Trying to find it. There it is. Maybe. Almost seems like coffee latte. Coffee latte. I'll do Pueblo. I don't know. We're just going to mix a little something in there. Okay. A little bit of water. A flat brush. Let's go with, we'll just do this one. I might get a little paint on the sides if I'm not super careful, but I'm just not going to stress about it. So we're going to mix this and let's try a little bit of this. It's kind of creamy. Let's see what this does. It's not too bad. It's actually closer to the other one, but it's not bad. We'll go with that. I think that tone will be all right. It just has to look similar. So this is the bottom. This is the top. And I'm just going to paint it on there. And I'm going to try to get close to my wallpaper as I can. The only reason I'm painting it is I don't like to leave raw, unfinished wood. Anytime I'm doing something, I would prefer not to leave raw, unfinished wood because it just is better over time to have it painted. One, it'll clean better if you have to clean it. You know, if you had dust it out or something. I don't know. I doubt I'll ever dust this, but it just helps. This is going to be mostly inside anyway because it'll have that acetate over it, so it's pretty much sealed. But we're just going to throw this on there. So just really simple. It's not much, guys. Same thing on this one, except I'm going to darken it just ever so slightly. Try to make it match that a little bit. I think it needs to be, almost have some green in there or something. Maybe green on the other plate. Let me grab it. I'm just going to throw a drop of green in there. See what that does. A little more. It's close. I don't know. Alright, same thing. I'm just going to paint it. It just has to look close. It matches the wood so much you can't. You guys probably can't barely see it. I'm just working here. Okay, can you see it? I don't even think you can see it because it's so close to this color. It's super close. But I'm just gonna try to paint it. It's hard to tell where I've even painted, honestly, but we're gonna paint it because I think it will protect it in the long run. it, you know, seals it, keeps moisture from getting in there. Maybe, you know, you get a lot of humidity. It's just better to paint it, guys. Or seal it in some way. You know, you could just throw a coat of Mod Podge or matte medium or something on, I guess. Even varnish. Because this color's so close. I could have gone a little darker, but it's just a sealing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be that dark. It's probably better that it's not that dark. Right there. Our ceiling painted. One more step done. All right. Wash my brush. Okay. All right. Let's see. I think that's all I can do today, guys. We got some stuff done. We got our colored. They're dry already. I don't know if you can see them now. Can you tell the difference? Hopefully y'all can tell the difference. It's subtle, but it's there. All right, there's that. He's never gonna stand up. Anyway, we did our stained glass. So we did our stained glass. Well, you can't really see it, but kind of see it. Oh, we're zoomed in. Y'all should have yelled at me. Hopefully you saw some of what I was doing. I didn't know I was so zoomed in. What else do we do? Painted the green rug. Where's that at? I lost it. There it is. We painted the green rug. And we did our little lamp. And we added some, we're going to put that, I don't know, we'll just set it there. So we did all that. Is there anything else we did? Stained glass, black wash, paint green rug, acetate. Okay, I think that's it, guys. All right, so that is it for today. We got a decent amount done. I will not be on Friday. Going to see the grandkids Friday, so I will be busy. I will be back on Monday. So y'all have a wonderful holiday and a wonderful weekend and all of that. Don't go crazy on Black Friday. I try to avoid the stores. And I will see you guys next time. All right, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, Bonnie. All right, take care, guys. Bye-bye.